to this, but UENO Yuka, world number 4, would have been on most people's bingo cards for the semi-finals, along with Martina Battini. I'm not sure everyone would have picked both CRISTINO and Martianova, but CRISTINO's made it here through some really tasty fencing. Bit a few Japanese athletes on the way, including Kikuchi. CRISTINO, she's going to have to beat another one to make it to the finals of the Shanghai Grand Prix. Women's semi-final number 1, last Grand Prix of the season. UENO, not sure whether that was second intention. Stepping in, there's Frank Boudin, the Frenchman who coaches the Japanese squad. Done a great job. Not sure that was the deliberate second intention. I think UENO changed her mind because of what CRISTINO was doing then. She looked like she was stepping in to start an attack. Now, she's seen that CRISTINO is going to be waiting for her, so she's going to finish that attack. Capitalised. She learned something as she scored her first hit and used it immediately. There is the man who won the bronze medal at the Atlanta 1996 Olympic Games in the men's foil individual competition. He's an individual world bronze medalist in Nîmes in 2001. I picked up 2 team gold medals for France. Has been coaching in Japan now for best part of 2 Olympic cycles. Recently brought in Erwan Lepeshu as well to join the team. Another superstar French men's foilist. They produced some very, very good fences as well. 4 of the 8 in the women's quarter-final from Japan. CRISTINO appeared to think that that was hers. So despite CRISTINO being 3-1 down, she looks like she's finding her feet here. Oh, I don't mean that literally, I mean it metaphorically. She's got the distance right. Not that time. But she's also finding the moment to pick up the blade. So now she's starting to play with that. She makes a beat and then feints on the outside to the flank. What does her opponent do? She's trying to get some information from UENO. UENO, though, pretty sharp. She sees the opportunity to try and score some hits during this learning phase for CRISTINO. Yeah, why not? I mean, if CRISTINO's in research mode, which she definitely is at the moment, UENO should just go after her. Try and build that lead up. So it's forcing CRISTINO to actually take some actions. Yes, okay, that then puts her in a position where she can score some hits. If she's not prepared them properly, UENO can capitalise as well. Oh, nearly on the counter riposte there from UENO. So time runs out in the first period, and UENO has capitalised on information gathering period for Anna CRISTINO. UENO leading by 6 points to 1. So this is the moment that is absolutely critical for both fencers. The Italian coach talking there about flicking onto the back, because UENO here likes to duck once she gets into close quarters, so flicking over the back, which CRISTINO can do, is a really useful weapon. But UENO has built the lead, has the advantage, so now Bourdin is talking about how to potentially just score a couple of hits in the next period. You don't need to, as long as you contain your opponent. You could see there his hand was positioned, so he's looking to block as soon as, I think after the attack that comes from UENO. Immediately tuck up and put can't parry across the body. Very small target on the Japanese athlete. And now we have a delay of sorts. Something to do with nose. I've seen this a couple of times today, actually. It's very strange that the same thing seems to be happening now. I just wonder if it's as simple as this is a bit of a cold going around, but that looks almost like it's trying to contain a nosebleed. They'll give her a minute or two just to try and resolve it without having to bring the medics into play, because as soon as you start doing that, then we're talking about 5-minute breaks. And a couple of the other Japanese athletes had this issue today as well. I've not seen enough of UENO fencing today to tell you if she's also been experiencing it, but perhaps there's something running through the Japanese squad at the moment, which makes their results here even more special. Meanwhile, CRISTINO's just got to watch on and try and keep her focus. Try not to think about being 5 hits behind. Massive sport in both Japan and Italy, but in Italy these athletes become superstars. Hence the branding opportunity for sponsors, and so they've got their sponsors' logos on the jackets. Big ticket sport still in Italy. developing the sport every single year. So a minute break became about 4 minutes, and looks like UENO ready to get back to the action. (6-1). CRISTINO has her work cut out for her. She's got to close this gap up. If it's a 5-hit gap by the time we get to the end of the second period, I fancy CRISTINO will be in trouble. The scoring rate goes up. She could be in trouble anyway. So it's interesting to see how CRISTINO has just changed her approach to this. She's happy to press a little bit, but what she's trying to do is she's trying to operate off what UENO does. So in that last hit, she basically produced a fake attack and then picked up UENO on her attack. But this is then what happens. UENO is so quick to adjust. She just picks off a quick stop hit because she knows that CRISTINO is not coming after her. Then immediately changes to go out on the attack. So these collection of hits, they're like combinations in boxing. You're picking up hits in a row because you've worked out what your opponent's doing. It's a real important part of the sport of fencing to understand that ability to know I've just landed this kind of hit, so the next kind of hit should be like this. And you base it on what you know about what your opponent's going to do. So just picked up the point on her knee, CRISTINO. Now, this is where CRISTINO has to put UENO right at the back of the piece, and that then provides her with the opportunity to play in her advantage with the distance. UENO will be smart to that now. She doesn't want to get herself too far inside her own half of the piece. A couple of clever hits here from CRISTINO. Trying to tease that counter action. So CRISTINO's now looking for a bit more, I don't want to say simple, but a bit more direct action. She's got UENO pinned back in. She's closed the gap up a couple of times in this period, but she's got UENO where she needs her. One more foot over the back line. She just needs to utilise this opportunity when UENO's right at the back of the piece a little better. She needs to have one UENO with 1 foot over the shaded area of the piece. That'll do. UENO though just walks away, and you can see what she's doing. She's saying to herself, right, stop getting pinned into your warning area. She's not working here now. Anna CRISTINO calling for the doctor. Needs some magic spray here. That will smart. Hit the funny bone of the side of the blade, sometimes with the heavy part of the blade. And she just needs a little bit of magic spray and it will all be over. But for me, CRISTINO needs deeper penetration in the piece. She needs to push UENO right down to the back, or her back line. Almost as though she's pushing her over it. There's the flick over the top, and yeah, it was just middle of UENO's blade that clipped the elbow of CRISTINO. Funny bone fixed with some magic spray. Second period, done and dusted. CRISTINO overall has actually done quite a good job here. She's closed a gap of 5 to a gap of 3 and said a couple of hits would be enough to keep her in the game. The scores remained relatively low, but UENO leads this one by 9 points to 6. Well, you can clearly see then that it is a nosebleed that UENO is suffering from. Good look at the weapon. The tape there is to ensure that your own weapon doesn't earth you out or ground you out, as the Americans term it. Nosebleed will be very distracting. Tactically, CRISTINO will not be in as difficult a place as she was in the first break. She's closed the gap up by 2, kept the score low, and now has a clearer idea of what she needs to do. She can't fall into the trap of the short attack, which is it's a second intention move from UENO, where she starts a really fast action with her feet, but actually finishes with a very short lunge. That's to lure CRISTINO out onto the attack. She's learnt that, and I don't think she's going to be doing that again in the match, unless she loses her concentration. But she also then needs to be careful of the really direct actions, and she can then control the fight using distance. So slightly bigger distance for CRISTINO, and she might get a couple more hits back into this fight. UENO though, the opportunity to talk to her coach as well. Now will be thinking about mixing it up and trying to throw those combos and getting on a run of hits in a row. So now we have official medical timeout, 5 minutes on the clock. So whatever happens, UENO, for sure UENO's coming back out onto the piste. It's only a nosebleed, but it's distracting. So she'll need to get it fixed. Not a huge amount you can do apart from apply pressure at the moment. Yeah, as with all sports, you can have a blood timeout. Doesn't have claret all over the place. Third and final period of this women's foil semi-final. And CRISTINO of Italy on the left trails UENO Yuka of Japan by 9 points to 6. 3 minutes of fencing left. CRISTINO gets it down to a 2-hit deficit. So those attacks from just that half a step, full step further away, and then lands it. Nice little sharp Balestra lunge attack there, but created by the first step. And that time nearly got it again immediately. She's now worked it out, CRISTINO. She can open that distance at the start of UENO's attack and find the blade. UENO could come to her and put her target on CRISTINO's point. Two meetings of the blade, and for me, CRISTINO gets that one, and that is what the referee has called as well. First one, difficult to call it from there. Very difficult to call it from there because the blade's completely covered by the body of the opponent. But I felt at the time, two meetings of the blade, second one was CRISTINO. That is what Thomas Corral thought as well. He is the floor referee. He's the man that makes the final decisions, but he's supported by Jelena Zelkovic. Sweden and the USA backing up, and it was a good call from UENO, and she does keep her video, and she does get the 3-hit lead back. Counteraction. So the attack was from the right, but well, the simplest way of putting it is UENO missed. From the reaction from CRISTINO, it might be one of those little bounce outs where the point hits the target but then just flicks straight away from it. That's why she put her hand up to apologise. Kind of like a potting the ball in a different pocket to the one you aim for in billiards, pool or snooker. This is the thing that CRISTINO mustn't fall for. This attack into UENO's fake second intention attack. Attack para riposte is no, continuation is off target for CRISTINO. So CRISTINO will hopefully learn from that. I don't mind the fact that she's attacking from a little bit further out. I think she needs to, because then she gets this opportunity where she starts the attack from further away. UENO's too far away, but starts to try and close the distance in a counter action. and then CRISTINO can pick up parry riposte. One hit in it now. No hits in it now. So, we have essentially a fight to 5 hits now. First action from the left is no, it misses, but UENO misses as well, and that's why CRISTINO got this second bite of the cherry. Right, who remembers when the score was 6-1 to UENO? 6-1 seems like a insurmountable lead, doesn't it? Yeah, CRISTINO has just gone on a 10-4 run. Turn this match on its head. Now, the head is the question mark for Ana CRISTINO. She's asked the referee to go and have a look at the video here. The ducking counter is okay if you keep your chin up, essentially. Now, UENO dives in, and for me, she keeps the head up. I don't see why she would get a card for that or have the hit annulled. She's not covering target, and that's exactly what Thomas Goral says. And the hit stands, 11-11. That's a wasted video appeal, in my opinion, from Ana CRISTINO. Yeesh. Second intention parry riposte. Just on the mask face, I think. Yeah, just momentary lapse of concentration opened the door there for the feint disengage attack. Beautiful to see this. Oh, classic foil hit. Almost no emotion from Frank Boudin. He expects this kind of brilliance. Interesting. So I think that what the shouting was for there was the clock didn't start, and they started fencing. And we do see a reaction from Frank Boudin. He stood up and said, "We need to take some time off the clock." So that's why Thomas Goral looked at the video. He said, "We don't have a video of that last action, so we don't know what time it was. So let's crack on." Because there was no hit, that's why. Video referee system only stops recording when a hit scored. So down in the splits, a tricky position. It's a tricky position that Ana CRISTINO is in. 12-11 down, 12 seconds on the clock. She must score. She must level up here to force an extra period. And that's why the tension is building. The crowd are starting to feel it. The Japanese and the Italians are all sitting in roughly the same place in this crowd. Pretty packed out crowd as well. And CRISTINO, does she land the first one? I'm not entirely sure about this, and nor is Thomas Goral. It's an attack parry for sure, but I don't think this first one lands. It's the second one, which means it's UENO's right of way. Does UENO give it away with a big wave of her sword, though? This will be a big call for Thomas Goral. I think this is UENO's. It is. And UENO opens up a 2-point lead with 6 seconds to go. CRISTINO put on the afterburners and comes straight off the on-guard line. Well, she's got to go faster than this. They've got to watch the clock now. And understandably, CRISTINO wants well, at least a second put back on the clock, and I think she probably is owed it. .350, she gets nearly 2 seconds back. If I heard that correctly, this is going up to 350. And that's nearly 2 seconds back on the clock, but she's 2 hits behind. She's literally on guard ready fence. She's got to sprint at UENO, and while she's sprinting, find the right target area to hit, and she needs to do that twice. So, it's what do you call a slow burner, this one? So, it's actually over 2 seconds. At 1.37 it was down to. CRISTINO needs 2 in this time, and she's not going to get them. She's not going to get them. She's going to get another second put back on the clock if she wants it, but I don't think there's any point. I think they are going to let this one go, and it was a slow burn, but it came to life in the end. And UENO did just about enough to get over the line and into the gold medal match. 13-11. UENO Yuka continues the fine day for Japan.
Versus Matianova Marta. Competition start. 比赛开始.
So, confirmation that UENO Yuka from Japan has come through a very tight one against CRISTINO of Italy, 13-11, and the Japanese fencer will be fighting for gold here in Shanghai. Neutral athlete Martianova getting ready to come out for the second semi-final. She's world number 19, 27 years old, down the other end of the piece, on the right-hand side of your screen.